What's something you did during sex that was so stupid you still facepalm about it today? First time I saw a penis, I was like wow, so that's it. I meant like wow, it's actually there. Here it is. But he understood it like it wasn't big or something, lol. Like where's the rest of it? In college my girlfriend was riding me in my dark bedroom me summer night. She was vigorously gyrating that I could feel her sweat dripping on me. Afterward we kissed and cuddled. When we turned on the light we discovered she had a bloody nose and her blood was all over my neck and chest. I fuked my ex. I haven't noticed it until after some minutes. She says, I don't know what you're doing, but can you put it inside? This was a bit of misunderstanding, but when my boyfriend and I first got together, I was going to give him a blowjob, so I took the gum out of my mouth, and I thought I put it in the trash bin. I did not. After we finished I went to the bathroom and saw gum all over my hair. I guess it was still on my hand when I put my hair up with a hair tie. So I said, man, this takes me back to my childhood, referring to the gum stuck in my hair. When I walked back into his room, his face had changed from happy bliss to complete concern. After a pause he finally says he was so sorry and that we didn't have to do that again. He hadn't seen the gum in my hair. He thought I was talking about a childhood filled with blowjobs. Once we figured out the mix-up, he was still a bit shaken by my childhood. I haven't been fucked like that since grade school. Mola, Fight Club. One girl I was with in high school was on top, and I had to fart real bad. I wasn't sure what to do, so I just tried to hold it in. She started to get more into it and picked up the pace, which caused a series of tiny rhythmic farts every time she came down. It sounded like a machine gun. She stopped and asked if I farted, and I blamed the squeaky bed. She knew. I had sex with a deaf chick, and I was moaning really loud, but she couldn't hear it, so I gave her a thumbs up for half of it. It became an inside joke. I asked my boyfriend to talk dirty to me. In the middle of sex he starts saying in my ear, fuck you, fuck you. I'll let it happen, and afterwards burst out laughing, telling him to never do that again. My husband was trying to talk dirty to me and finished a sentence calling me a silly goose. Sex was postponed for a good 15 minutes while I laughed my ass off. An old girlfriend of mine said she wanted to be slapped while we were going at it. After 100% ensuring she really wanted to be slapped, I slapped her. I missed her cheek and smacked her right in the nose. She yelled, ow, fuck, but thankfully didn't hold it against me. He said arch your back while we were doing it doggy style and I arched it the wrong way, up, and he had to say no the other way. Edit. Thanks for all the awards. Glad my suffering and his probably can bring you all joy. Getting my wife's bra off. Too many damn straps and crap. I muttered Rubik's boob and we started laughing so hard we killed the moment. Having sex while standing, holding GF face to face, and supporting her off the ground with my arms under her legs. Yeah, you have to have some strength to do this. So she's all into this new position, and my arms are getting tired, so I have the idea to walk forward and put her back against the wall. Except it was the patio sliding glass door. In January, which was freezing cold. Bare GF back against a cold piece of glass. Nope. That definitely broke the mood. The first time he went down on me, he had a slight cold, and I was super nervous, so he's going at it, right up in there, and my brain decided to ask him, how's your nose? He just looked up at me, shook his head, and kept going, thankfully. LMAO. Reminds me of the first time I went down on a guy. I had told him it was my first time trying it, and I'm going at it just fine for a couple of minutes, then randomly pull back, look up at him, and say, I just don't want you to be bored. I've never seen such a bitch, are you serious, look in my entire life. It still makes me laugh to think about. My girlfriend a while ago liked to do the ice cube, cup of tea blowjob trick. One night we didn't have any ice cubes, only a bag of frozen peas. She went down on me with a mouthful, and it turns out that peas in the mouth defrost really fast. After about 20 secs she choked and coughed blowjob mushy peas all over me and my new sheets. Improvise. Adapt. Overcome. The first time I tried to kiss a guy, I closed my eyes, went forward with my mouth open, and bit his chin. My boyfriend at the time was trying to take my tight jeans off and struggling mightily to get them over my hips. I lifted my hips up to assist with the process and the jeans came off quickly and he flew backwards and hit his head on the wall. It was absolutely hilarious and I laughed. He did not find it equally funny and sexy times were put off so he could nurse his head injury and his pride. On my honeymoon, my now ex-husband and I decided to get drunk, eat snacks and watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. While doing so, we started fooling around and trailed off to the bedroom to finish what we started. While I started going down on him, I noticed he was squirming and saw him wincing. When I looked up, I asked him what was the matter, to which he replied, "It burns." And it was only then I realized I had just been snacking on extra flaming hot Cheetos right before. After rushing to get a wet cloth and repeatedly apologizing, I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that I just gave my new husband a flamin' hot blowjob. Jetting hot and heavy with my GF in bed, making out and getting ready to start the main event. We're whispering back and forth to each other when I say, "I wanna be inside you." To which she immediately responded, What did you say?" After a very confusing moment, I realized she thought I said, "I want to pee inside you." It kinda killed the mood. BTW. Fucking autocorrect almost made me post this as jetting hot and heavy with my grandfather in bed. Glad I'm a paranoid proofreader. Going when I came. Her roommate had friends over, and they still make fun of me to this day for it. She, who's very insecure, queefs very loud, and leans forward. Looks back at me, lip shaking like she's going to cry. I'm not grossed out or anything, but I do kinda feel bad for her. I seized this opportunity to let out a fart that I'd been holding in and followed up with "It's okay, I do it too sometimes." It was unsuccessful. She just started bawling. A girl invited me over to her house to watch the Wonder Woman movie. While we are watching it, she starts kissing on me and teasing me. I said, "What about the movie?" She says to me, "Come on to the bedroom, it'll be better than the movie." And while we are going at it, she says, "See, isn't this better than the movie?" And before I could catch myself, I said, "I don't know, I haven't seen the rest of the movie." My very first time with a gal who was out of my league. We stripped off our clothes and were making out, and both of us totally naked. I said, "So, what next? Do I ask for a blowjob?" She laughed it off and said, "Let me take the lead on this one." I miss her. Not me, but my girlfriend and I were in the middle of sexy times, and we had been wanting to get more comfortable with dirty talk, and after a little bit of back and forth she said, "How bad do you want this dick? I mean, pussy." We just laughed it off, but she still gets embarrassed thinking about it to this day. When I came, my upper body froze up, and I drooled on her face. I felt the spit making its way out, and I couldn't move my arms or body. This happened twice with the same girl. So I met this girl at a bar one night. She had very vibrantly red hair. So I end up going home with her. All was well. We exchanged numbers and I left. So we meet up again, and her hair is bluer than the sky. So I say, "Oh shit, I like the new hair color." So she proceeds to tell me they are wigs. She had destroyed her hair and shaved it off. So, now wigs. The Facepalm is, one night she's giving me oral. I look over, and there's two different wigs next to me. I still don't know what possessed me to do it, but I took the one on her head off, and, naturally, put a different one on. Okay, there are two. My husband was going down on me, and when I came I let out a massive fart. Right in his face. You know those Listerine fresh breath strips? Well, if you put one in your mouth and let it dissolve, then go down on your partner, it can give a nice sensation for them. I was waiting for my husband in a very dark bedroom and I reached for the breath strips. But instead of putting one in my mouth, I ended up putting what must have been 8 or 9. They started melting and it was overwhelming. My husband came in and turned on the light to find me scooping blue goop out of my mouth, blue drool on my chin, and my eyes watering. Not exactly the sexiest scenario. Lost my virginity to a girl with an IUD, so we just kinda raw dogged it. Basically I nutted in like 30 seconds, but didn't wanna disappoint, so I just kept going for like 15 minutes till she was like, "Yo, are you good?" And I told her I nutted like ages ago and we laughed. Not really bad but weird. I was having sex with my GF in the missionary position, and out of nowhere she stuck her middle finger up my ass. No warning or anything. What really freaked me out was I came instantly. Didn't have any control over it. So when I'm drunk and tired I start saying extremely weird things with no recollection of it afterwards. Sex is no exception here. Unfortunately the worst thing I've said was probably my reply to a "how was it?" when I supposedly just dryly shrugged and said nothing to be proud of. That movie with Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston where he counts to 50 before coming to make sure he lasted. Yeah, I fucking did that. It was a quickie. I yelled 50. And she looked at me like I have Tourette's instead of making an obscure movie reference. I was nervous around my first college crush. After a few weeks of talking I finally got her into my room. We were on my bed making out, getting touchy-feely. I realized pretty quickly that she wasn't wearing any panties under her short shorts. I looked down and said, "I can see your vag, AJ." She laughed awkwardly, said she had to go, and we never spoke romantically again. One of my first times I thought for some reason unlubricated condoms were the way to go. They were not. Not long after getting into it, we both got friction burned. She was screaming. I was screaming. I was literally bleeding after. Took about a month to heal up. There was not a second time for us. I did a porn audition. I was all ready, but meant to get my nails done beforehand. I looked at Walmart for a quick solution and found glue on acrylic nails. I had never used them before, but the box said they'd hold up to 2 weeks. Fast forward to the audition, and it started off with me masturbating on the couch. I was rubbing my clit, and I felt the nails start to pop off one by one. I tried not to panic and go with it. When I moved my hand I had a bunch of false nails stuck to my vagina. He was recording the whole time. I awkwardly laughed and asked to take them off and redo the shoot. But the embarrassment affected my performance and I just came off as extremely awkward. I got an email a few days later thanking me for they had not laughed like that in a long time. They said they didn't think I'd fit the part, but asked if they could pay me for the segment, to use in, for lack of a better term, a blooper reel. I haven't auditioned anywhere else since and don't plan to. Pretty much ruined it for me. But at least I can laugh about it now instead of being completely mortified. Sex with a bald girl. I'm hitting from the back, and am super horny, and in the moment I couldn't think of an alternative to hair pulling, so I just grabbed her head like a fucking basketball. She starts dying laughing immediately. Edit. Thanks for all the awards, praying she's not a regular AskReddit user. Edit. 2. Wow, I'm glad you all got a good laugh out of it. I didn't think it was that funny when it happened, but in retrospect it is pretty funny, lol. Be sure to like and subscribe for more reading Reddit videos. Thanks, bye.